Excitement. Well,
I'm ready to help.
thank you, Techno Elf. It's not possible without you. I really don't know anything about technology.
I'm pretty sure we crossed all our I's and dotted all our T's.
Well, good. I like...
Let me just... Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Quiet on set.
quiet on the set. Don't try this at home. Are you there, Sindy?
I'm here, Krumba. I can hear you and I can see you.
Oh, good. How is it in Helsinki?
Everything is wonderful here. I'm very excited to have you on my show. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I know it's not easy to have a connection from the place you are calling, so maybe you want to tell us what's your location?
Yes, I live in the Great Swamp, which is a part of funky Ireland, and that is in the United States of America.
So that's very far away from Helsinki.
Yes, but it's not that far when you think of all of the fungal networks that are crossing the world over. And we are also living underneath the base of a large old oak tree in the home that my family has been living in for, hundreds of years now.
Oh, that's exciting. And I can see a fireplace behind you that shines so beautifully light into your home. But before I ask you if you may give us a tour of your home, I want to ask you one thing, which I usually don't. But Krumba, I know you are very wise and you have lived on this planet for a long time, but I would be interested in knowing how long have you been living on this beautiful planet called Earth?
Oh, well, I'm not exactly sure. I lost count at some point, and the last birthday I remember celebrating was my 106th birthday.
Oh.
Yes, so I tend to not track my age by the years of my birth, but I tend to track my life by the seasons, the cycles of the moon, and I prefer to also track my life by the cycles and patterns of my life, which I know you know a great deal about because you are an astrology witch. Aha!
Yeah, that we have in common. We are very interested in the cycles of nature.
Yes.
That's what I admire in your wisdom and what you are sharing with your sister Bellina on your own show. But yeah, let's talk about that a bit later. But now I'm interested in your home. Would you like to give us a tour of your home?
Yes, of course. If you take a look over here, there's something very interesting that arrived. There was an earthquake not too long ago, and part of the rock wall sheared right off, revealing the fossil of an ancient frog, one of the large frog species that no longer exist in the swamp. And that was a moment of pride for me. I could study the frog and compare them to the frogs that are living now, and it's been very fascinating to have such a friend right near my front door.
You kept it.
Yes, I will keep it there and not disturb him. And as you can see, some mushrooms have been growing up all around him, and I think that that's probably also a good sign. And then if you take a look over yonder, this is my front door and one of the gourds that I've planted, and it grows throughout the seasons. And over here, we have laundry and things, and my wood pile, I keep a nice chopped wood just in case. I forgot to clear my laundry This is my underwear.
Mm,
I hope that it is not offensive to your sensibilities, but
absolutely not.
quite fresh, smelling and warmed by the fire. Nothing like putting on a nice warm pair of underwear in cold winter months.
Mhm.
And we have up top, we have some books that my family has created in the different dialects of the swamp.
Mm.
And over here, we have my edition that I have been creating. This is a record of the fauna and flora of the swamp. And as you see, the page is open to my studies of the skunk cabbage.
Mhm. Oh, that's
Harpus
exciting.
methodist.
Yeah.
Yes, very exciting.
Mm.
Good, stinky vegetable, and sometimes used in medicine. Oh,
Mhm.
goodness, I knocked my chair. So, oh, I have something very special to show you because I know we are talking about technology today and
Mhm.
using technology. I'll be right back.
Now it gets interesting.
A painting of one of my ancestors. As you can see, it is very old, and she is the ancestor, the very first one in my family to have used technology to capture her image.
She has blue hair and a hat.
Yes, she was living sometime in the 1600s, difficult time for witches. Yes.
That's true, yeah. Well, we were talking about some technology. So do you know what kind of technology they used?
Oh, yes, this is a kind of a camera technique called the camera obscura. So that is a very old painting, and I just knew because you are technologically savvy that you would enjoy this from the Renaissance.
Of course. Thanks for sharing.
Yes, I'll put it back. I'll be right back. Oh, there you go, my ancestor. And she lived right here in the swamp as well.
So you are living where exactly in the swamp? Is it on the ground or on a high hill, or how is your house built?
Oh, well, it is on a bit of raised land above the swamp. If it were in the swamp itself, I'm afraid that I would be having a very soggy life with all of the flooding and the murk and the mud that would come in. But I do live underneath the oak tree, and the oak tree is a wonderful friend to me. You can see the roots are growing down, and we live in a harmony with nature and try to keep it well as much as we can.
Yeah, speaking of harmony, I was thinking about many people these days are very unhappy, and I wanted to ask you if you know something about it, if you know what's wrong with people these days and what could be the cure to help us to be better.
Well, let me think. I think that people have always struggled to be happy, and no one, of course, can be happy all of the time. But I think these days we are very out of step with nature, and that we don't get our hands dirty. We don't really go in the mud. We don't really take walks out in nature. We don't get to track the motions of the beautiful birds and have encounters with animals and flowers and trees, and perhaps that is why people feel very unsettled, because they are not remembering that we are animals too. Yes.
That's an interesting take. Yeah, we are not living with the cycles of nature anymore. We are not living in the nature like you live under the oak tree, and I'm pretty sure that you experience the seasons very directly. We do not do that. We live in stone houses, in square houses, and we can work during the night. We have electric light, so we are not dependent on the sunlight and the seasons so much as our ancestors.
Yes.
So, we don't have this cycle of rest and work. It sometimes feels it's only work, doing all the time the same things over and over again without having the long periods of rest like people had back in the day during the wintertime.
Yes, I agree. And my show that I've done with my sister Bellina, we've really we haven't made an episode since the winter solstice, and we are resting and enjoying this quiet time of year where we can just be cozy at home and get work done and be quiet and contemplate, I guess you could say.
You are a good example.
Well, thank you. I am an older sister, so I know what it's like to be an example, to try to set an example, yes.
When will you do future episodes of your show? Anything in planning?
We have been planning to do something with a friend of ours, but haven't been able to get the message out to her. Sometimes it takes many weeks for the mail to come through the swamp, and we haven't heard from her. So perhaps we will come up with another idea or wait to hear from her. I don't know.
So everything is in the stars at this point.
Everything, yes. I like how you say that.
I know that you are also answering people's questions in your show. So if someone is listening to this show and they want to ask you or Bellina, your sister, something, how can they contact you?
Well, you can contact me by bird, or you can contact me by the fungal networks, or you can contact me on Instagram. And Instagram is Melissa the Art Witch. We use Melissa's Instagram and these technologies because, frankly, we don't know how to do anything ourselves. And Melissa agreed to help us get the word out about what it is to be a swamp witch, and in my sister's case, a crystal witch.
Yeah, we will have an interview with Bellina someday after this interview. I'm very excited about this one. Bellina's very different than you are.
Yes, yeah, that's very true. She takes after my father, and I take after my mother more. That's for sure.
You two are wonderful. I like to watch your episodes, your show. I have learned so much from both of you.
It's very kind. Thank you. And we've learned from you as well, Sindy.
Well, someday I have to visit you and have some tea or potion with you together. I know you do potions. Is this something of your future projects?
Yes, I've got some potions in the works. Over here, there's a drying rack on my table, and you can see that there's quite a few little flowers and herbs and leaves and things that I find around, and I like to do experiments with them, and I can also use my family's books right up there. If you take a look up there, these are volumes that my family has written of the potions and various medicines and tricks and fun things that you can do in with all of the things around here. Yes.
There's knowledge of several hundreds of years in those books.
Yes, some things are now extinct. And some things were not even listed in there, which is why I continue my family's work and try to keep a record of new plans that might have arrived and how things have evolved over time.
Well, thank you, Krumba, for all this knowledge you have been giving us today, and for reminding us that we should be more conscious about the cycles of nature again, to maybe be better and happier and live a wonderful life together and not be grumpy all the time.
Yes, I mean, there's something to be said for being grumpy, because it can help you understand what your boundaries are. But yes, it's good not to be so grumpy and take it out on other people. Be grumpy in your own time. Be grumpy to the frogs.
Well, is there a last advice you want to give us today before we close this interview?
Well, let me see. Eat well, sleep well, and be careful of the diet that you're also putting in your head. That's it. Works for me.
Yeah, that's important. Well, Krumba, thank you very much for your time to have this interview with me.
Yes.
And
wonderful.
Also, we thank Techno Elf also for helping with the technique.
Thank you, my friend, Techno Elf. He's the best.
He's a great help. Thank you. Well, Krumba, I hope to have you again on my show at some day. And well, be well. And
you too.
Let's see what the future brings.
Yes, all good things, I hope.
Let's hope so.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, Krumba.